Hey, what's up, guys? This is Logic. This is my first Smackdown Live review, and pretty much similar to Monday Night Raw, Smackdown Live was boring. But I have to say, the 2 hour format is way better than the 3 hour format. I I listened to my podcast yesterday on my Raw review. Basically, I sound like a zombie, and I don't know if I'm just being too harsh on myself or I just criticize myself a lot, but I feel like that wasn't my best work, and I want to put my best foot forward and do exactly what I can to show you guys the logic gaps and if things make sense in WWE. And I felt like I was just so out of it, like I had no energy. I started off hot, but then as I went down the card, I just started not to care about what exactly we were watching. So I apologize for that. I want to get better, but honestly, I think it's a 3 hour format. 3 hours of a boring show can kill anybody. I watched that 2 nights ago, and then I rewatched the highlights of it to refresh my mind. So hopefully tonight I can make a make this review basically more interesting and come up with more logic gaps, because this show had a lot of logic gaps. And actually, it was reported by Dave Meltzer and Ryan Satin that Mr. McMahon, Vince McMahon, ripped up the script hours before they went on live on SmackDown and actually rewrote the script to however he wanted to like it. I don't know, whatever. So it kind of makes sense because it's a lot of logic gaps. Like, example, Natalia versus Ember Moon. Why are the challengers facing each other? It makes no sense. Who's gonna look good? Another example, Mustafa Ali versus Dolph Ziggler. Made no sense again. If you watch on SmackDown last week, Ali beat Shinsuke Nakamura, and I'm just gonna assume that's supposed to give him a title shot for the Intercontinental Champion. So why would you make him lose just to build Dolph Ziggler up just to lose to Goldberg, pardon me. Yeah, that like it doesn't make sense. I'm not understanding. Yeah, this just so I'm gonna go over the whole show, but some of this stuff just does not make sense on why it would happen basically. So we start off SmackDown Live with Charlotte Flair making her way to the ring and gloating, obviously, because she's the queen. And she says that every time the queen steps foot in the ring, the fans are witnessing greatness. Most of us dream of greatness, but sadly, we don't have the genetics, talent, or discipline to achieve it. You either quit, lie to yourself, or do something else like her opponent at Summerslam, Trish Stratus. So Charlotte calls Trish Stratus a Hall of Famer, 7-time champion who went to business for herself. She opted to go for her family in a minivan at the height of the women's evolution. Charlotte continues and say the athletes of today are far more superior than the athletes of yesterday. She says Trish's dreams of beating her will not come true and she will shatter them. So then Charlotte points to the Minitron or the Titantron, and she's waiting for her video package to play. So as we watch the video package, it seems like it's leading up to Charlotte's highlights or her achievement, but actually it's all Trish Stratus's achievements. So I guess Trish knew that Charlotte was gonna come out and show her highlight package, I guess. So she put her own edits in of all Trish achievements. So after this, Trish comes out. Trish makes her way to the ring and says Charlotte is right. She has been dreaming of one more match. She says Flair is the embodiment of everything she fought for. And yes, she wants one more match, and maybe it's to prove it to her kids or to her fans, and also prove it to herself. Trish quotes the great Harley Race and says, "There's no greater feeling in the world than being under these bright lights," and she wants that currently. She says Charlotte may be the queen, but she's not Trish Stratus. Charlotte then gets on the mic and say, "Welcome to her nightmare," because Sunday she's gonna make her bow down to the queen. Then Charlotte woos in Trish's face. So Trish decides to slap Charlotte. And then Charlotte, as a heel, starts laughing and leaves the ring. Now, my opinion on this was decent. Didn't really get me excited, whatever. At this point, I just want to see the match. I don't really care about the promos anymore. They should have never did. It was either they should have did this on Raw, or they should have never did what they did on Raw with that. They should have never did that tag team match on Raw. They should have had at least one segment, not two, both on Raw and SmackDown. But yeah, I'm just ready for the match. I know this is gonna be a great match. So yeah, it was decent. So I can let that pass. So as we go to commercial and we come back, we hear Goldberg's theme. So my genuine reaction, I completely forgot what Dolph Ziggler did last week. Last week, he mocked Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels' music played and Dolph Ziggler came out, act like Shawn Michaels, did his whole entrance. So this week, I actually thought Goldberg was there. Completely forgot that he did the same thing with Shawn Michaels. But clearly, it wasn't Goldberg, it was Dolph Ziggler. So we had the whole entrance. They had the door there that said Dolph Ziggler instead of Goldberg. We had a security guard knock on the door. Ziggler comes out acting like Goldberg, whatever. He mocks him. He goes to the ring. So Dolph Ziggler is having a match against Rey Mysterio. And as Rey is walking down the ring, Dolph attacks him from behind. He super kicks him, and basically the WWE officials come out, try to get Dolph away from him, try to help Ziggler, or no, Ray. And then as Ray is getting up, he hits another super kick. And basically, Dolph claims himself as the new legend killer. First of all, my only problems with this, why it had to be Rey Mysterio? I know he's a legend, but why? Why you had to punk him out? He just lost a match to Andrade. Can we keep him on one show? There's no one else you can use. And two super kicks can finish Rey Mysterio. Anyways, and this is another thing. Dolph Ziggler calling himself the new legend killer. Isn't Dolph Ziggler a soon to be legend? This guy has been in the company for like 10 years now. He's been in the company since I started watching wrestling. So he's been there for like 10 or 11 years now. He's not a legend himself. So yeah, those are just some of the logic gaps. I don't know. I get why they building the story so Goldberg can get another win and like get the super showdown taste out of his mouth so he can forget about that. But still, I'm not really liking this. And what they did, I did not like this at all. So Mustafa Ali's music hits and he goes checks on Ray, and then he gets in a ring and knocks Ziggler outside the ring and hits a suicide dive on the outside basically. So now we have a one-on-one match, Dolph Ziggler and Mustafa Ali. So I actually thought Mustafa Ali was gonna win this match to build momentum so he can have a Intercontinental Championship match with Shinsuke Nakamura, because last week he pinned Shinsuke Nakamura, the Intercontinental Champion, to basically declare himself as the number one contender. But that's not what happened. So, anyways, we go to commercial and we come back. They have a little like 5 minute match, but basically Dolph Ziggler prepares for the switching music. Ali ducks it, goes for the cover, but Dolph kicks out. A headbutt from Ziggler, then a super kick. 1, 2, 3. Ali is pinned. I don't know why Ali's pinned. Does he get an Intercontinental Championship shot? I don't know. He just got pinned. If you're a loser, I don't think you should be getting any championship shot. That doesn't make sense to me. But he probably will be on the pre-show. The Intercontinental Championship has stooped down to the lowest levels. It's really one of my favorite titles, and it's just not important. It's not important in anybody's eyes, sadly enough. But I hope they bring it back to prominence. I hope Mustafa Ali still gets the win, even though it's illogical that he just lost. I hope he still faces Nakamura. I hope he gets a win. He's a great underdog. He's one of my favorite guys right now, but he's a great underdog. He's a great story. So now we have an interview space for Roman Reigns, and I forgot the lady's name. One of the interviewers asks him how is he holding it up because of, the incident last SmackDown with the scaffolding almost killing him and someone trying to run him down in a car on Raw. But basically Roman says that he's been through so much this year, a lot of obstacles, but this is different because he don't know who's attacking him and why. Then the interviewer asks Roman, is it affecting his life? Roman says he does things on his own. It's one thing to be in the ring, and it's another thing to hit him from backstage, and another in a car. So the interviewer asks Roman, does he have like any suspects, anybody he believes that did it? And Roman says he knows someone who's not the suspect is Samoa Joe, and he apologizes to Samoa Joe. This gets a pop. So in my opinion, I'm thinking Samoa Joe's about to be faced now because Samoa Joe, even though Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe never liked each other, they always had like a bitter rivalry. Joe showed like some sympathy for Roman. Like he snapped out of the heel character last Monday and realized this is a human being almost getting hit by a car. He actually showed that he cared about Roman Reigns. So I don't know, maybe a tag team, and I think this is exactly what's gonna happen. The tag team match soon, but I get into that when I get into the part where I'm about to talk about. So basically, yeah, he says he's gonna get to the bottom of it tonight. Now we get to something illogical. We have Natalia versus Ember Moon. Now Natalia is facing Becky Lynch at SummerSlam for the Raw Women's title, and Ember Moon is facing Bayley for the SmackDown Women's title. Now this is why this is illogical, because if you're gonna, this is the thing about wrestling, you have to make people credible. Champions should always look strong until they lose the title. Now, it's okay to make a champion look weak every now and then, but I believe that they should look weak when they're losing the title. If you're a champion, you should be on the top of your game. No one, like, no matter if you're heel or face, you should be on top of your game. Same thing with the challengers. You need credible challengers. If you have a challenger that is losing every week, are they a real challenger or are they just a quick match just to spare time? Like, no, we need credible challengers and credible champions. So this match is illogical. Basically, who's gonna look good? Ember or Natalia? They both can't look good, but I can give WWE this. They did a no contest. Natalia actually hit the sharpshooter on Ember Moon on the outside, and she just ignored the referee's count, the count out to 10, and basically that's it. Both women were on the outside, so nobody won. Now, I can say they did that right by not having someone win, because I don't want Ember Moon to look weak, because she already looked weak by having her be in the sharpshooter. She's already looking weak, but it would be even worse if she got pinned. But I don't think this should even happen. You guys legit did this last week or last Raw on Monday. Same thing happened. Just replace. Look, so replace Trish Stratus with Bayley and Ember Moon with Becky Lynch. Same thing happened. So Bayley comes out and basically she doesn't push Natalia off. She's tapping on Natalia. I'm not understanding. Bayley needs to get a little bit more physical. I know her character is all like, oh, she's happy, she wants hugs or whatever, but you need to get a little bit more physical. But this doesn't make sense anyway. Why is Bayley helping Ember Moon? Doesn't make sense. Last week, Ember Moon, what happened? Last week they lost in a tag team match. I forgot who exactly who it was against. I think it was Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, and I think Ember Moon took the pin. Bayley helped her up, and then Bayley hit the belly to belly on her because Ember Moon attacked her the previous week. So Ember Moon, she was skeptical about Bayley because Bayley attacked her last week. So Bayley came for the stave or whatever, and she did not want to like be around Bayley. But this doesn't make sense. If Bayley was a real smart champion, I would let Natalia finish her. That's not my problem. If you're getting attacked, that's not my fault. You're my opponent. You're going to be weakened. I'm going to have an easier match. But whatever. It's a babyface story. They're going to go the typical route. Whatever. You can't do nothing about WWE going the typical route. So now it's time for the KO show, the Kevin Owens show. And we come back from commercial. We see Kevin Owens already in the ring. He says, let's cut to the chase. Let's just get this over with. So he's waiting for Shane. Shane comes out. So this is dead my favorite part. Like, I don't like the Shane McMahon character, but this is dead my favorite part. Every time Greg Hamilton, that's his name, Greg Hamilton, right? Every time Greg Hamilton says, the best in the world. Like, I'm not going to do it like him, but every time he says that, I say it just like him. I do the hand thing like Shane. That's my favorite part because he has a great voice to say that. But basically, he's about to say the best in the world, and Kevin just takes the mic right out of Hamilton's hands, and he says, we had enough of that. So currently, Kevin Owens is career is on the line in this match. It will be Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens in a normal one-on-one match. If Kevin loses, his career is over in WWE. So basically, Kevin says, why isn't your career on the line? If you're McMahon, if you say what's best for business, you should listen to the people. The people believe that you should put your career on the line too. And Shane, he declines it. So Shane is just being a heel. I think he's gonna be so cocky. All right, so let me say. Matter of fact, I don't know. I might just keep this for my predictions, but I'm gonna give a little brief. I'm gonna have a prediction video out probably Friday for SummerSlam, maybe tomorrow. But basically, Shane McMahon is gonna have a one-on-one match with Kevin Owens. After the match goes on for a little bit, he's gonna have like his cronies come in, Elias, Drew McIntyre, or the Revival, somebody, you know. They're gonna beat up Kevin Owens, and then Shane is gonna change the rules, make it a DQ, no DQ, and then I don't know. He might get so cocky, he might put his career on the line. I think that's gonna happen. Probably. I'm not sure if Kevin's even gonna win. I haven't decided on it. I don't know if they're gonna make Shane like a big heel, like even beating the anti-hero and have Kevin like off TV for a little bit and then return, or actually have Shane off TV and lose. But we'll see. So back to what's going on. Owens basically says that that's surprising that Shane said no. After all, these years watching him doing crazy acts, he's just exposed to everyone that he doesn't have any balls. So Owens, he throws his microphone, pushes a chair on the floor. Shane says he does have those and brains, but he can see the hostility, and let's get a prelude to what's going to happen on Sunday, basically. So they clear the ring. Kevin is throwing the chairs or whatever, throwing the chairs, throwing his signs out the ring, and Elias comes from behind, attacks Owens, and they're both ganging up on Owens, Shane and Elias. Kevin throws Elias outside the ring, and the brawl goes on the outside. Shane McMahon tries to get involved, and Owens, he throws Shane across the announce table, clears the announce table. Elias hits Owens. Both men are standing on the announce table, and Owens hits the stunner on Shane on the table. And then Shane trips Owens when he's standing on the table and beats him down. Shane stomps on him and throws that. He basically flips the whole announce table on Owens, so Owens is stuck. Well, he's not really stuck. He probably could. Well, I don't know. I don't know how heavy that announce table is, but he's basically stuck. Shane gets a chair, puts it in Owens' face. He backs up, runs, and goes for a low drop kick right to Owens' face. Owens is knocked out. Shane gets in his face and starts yelling at him. I love the intensity of Shane McMahon. He can really get you. Like, I don't know. I always thought Shane could not be a good heel because he was, like, always the good guy, you know? In 2016, when he came back for the brand split, he was the good guy. Everyone loved Shane McMahon, but his intensity, I just love his heel work. Even though some people are not liking it, I'm enjoying it. So now we have Sami Zayn coming out, cutting a promo. Last week, he called out Aleister Black. He challenged him to a SummerSlam match, and we haven't got anything from Aleister Black. So Sammy comes out and it says he's trying to expose him, so saying that he's all hype. He challenged him, and what did we get? We get silence. Basically, he's been locked himself in a dark room because he's safe there. Whatever. Sami Zayn is just talking just to talk. Then we see, this is weird. We see, like the board that Aleister Black lays on to like rises and like basically to rise up like a vampire, whatever. So we see Aleister Black on the board with smoke everywhere, and it was just an awkward shot. Like, and I barely remember what he said. He says the match isn't happening in SummerSlam. He says it's happening now, I think. So, yeah, he's on the board while he's saying that, and this is just an awkward camera view. I don't know. I don't think they should ever do that camera view again. Just, if that's going to happen, have him say... They should have cut a promo in, like, his dark room again and just say what he wanted to say. Then his music comes on and then he comes out regularly. That little promo was kind of weird on that board, but whatever. They have a quick match. I don't think the match is worth like calling match or match, whatever, or spot for spot. So basically, black mass, boom. He devastating black mass. That's kind of one of my favorite finishers right now. But yeah, Sami Zayn, jobber, loser. I don't think he ever won a match since he came back from his injury or whatever. So who cares? At least Aleister Black is looking good. After the Aleister Black match, we go to backstage, and we haven't saw Shelton Benjamin in like 2 weeks now. I'm not sure, 2 or 3 weeks. 2 or 3 weeks ago, he was having these promos where the interviewer would ask him a question and he would just look around, up, left, right, down, in the corner, not corner. Like he would look around, and he wouldn't say nothing, and he would just smile. So the interviewer asked him if he's gonna be involved in the 24/7, or will he win the 24/7 or compete in it or something like that. He doesn't say nothing, looks around, smiles, and he says, well, and then he walks away. I have no clue what they're gonna do with him. They kind of like stopped doing it. Now they're like continuing it. I don't know if like he has big plans. It's kind of weird. Whatever. Who cares? So now we get to the Firefly Funhouse with Bray Wyatt. It's featuring Huskus the Pig. I'm pretty sure that's his name. I'm not sure. Huskus the Pig. If I'm wrong, comment and tell me if I'm wrong. But Huskus the Pig is over here eating chocolate, candy, just stuffing his face with a whole bunch of sweets. Bray Wyatt says his SummerSlam opponent Finn Balor isn't afraid of anything. But he says he is afraid that Finn's courage is really ignorance in disguise. He invited the Fiend to his doorstep willingly. Then Wyatt starts laughing hysterically, and then he turns to a serious face or whatever. And, his evil gimmick, he's really kind of crazy. And then Wyatt basically says, we have heard for so long that he thinks of Finn Balor's turn. The Fiend is coming for him. As we see clips of the Fiend, like the random clips of Bray Wyatt in this whole suit. And then Bray Wyatt says, let me in. So I love this, whatever. It wasn't much. It was just basic because SummerSlam is right here. There's not much to say anyway. But I enjoy the Firefly Funhouse. I hope it doesn't go away after he has his first match. I hope that we continue to see the Funhouse. But yeah, it was nice. It was a decent one. We see Chad Gable backstage scratching with some bands, basically. Now, I don't watch 205 Live that often. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I do because, they be having some good matches there, some underrated matches. But apparently, Chad Gable's on 205 Live. I'm not sure what is he doing on SmackDown. I don't know if he's doing anything prominent in 205 Live right now. But we see him on SmackDown. He's scratching in front of Elias's guitar. Elias comes up and says, "Oh, why your band's here?" The bands he's scratching with, and Elias basically belittles him. He calls him short, whatever. He basically calls him a kid, and Chad Gable doesn't say nothing. He doesn't defend himself. So I don't know if this is leading to a storyline with them two. I'm not sure, but right now Chad Gable is looking like he's scared of Elias apparently. So I'm hoping this is a feud because Chad Gable is a great wrestler. So we can see what was going to happen in the next weeks. So now we have a video package of Kofi Kingston's response to Randy Orton's video package last week. So both these video packages were fantastic. It told a great story. I think this is Kofi Kingston's best feud to date because it's truth. Randy Orton had power and pull backstage, and he ruined Kofi Kingston's push. He was on top of his game, and all Randy Orton had to do was complain about one thing, and it was slip right from him. So let me explain Randy's video package. Randy basically explained how he got rid of Kofi's push, and he was the reason why Kofi won the WWE title. And this is all truth. This is all truth. The reason why Kofi wasn't champion in the first place was because of Randy Orton and because of his actions in the backstage. And the reason why he is WWE champion now is because Randy Orton actually injured Mustafa Ali, and Kofi Kingston took his place in the gauntlet match. So it's all truth. It all revolves around Randy Orton. If Randy Orton was never around, maybe Kofi would have been champion a long time ago. And if Randy Orton was never around currently, maybe Kofi would have never won the title. So it's a great story. I'm I'm really liking this. I'm not sure if I believe the Kofi Kingston train is still moving forward in full steam. I'm not sure if everyone's still liking him as the WWE champion. Obviously, he's still a great babyface, but I'm not sure if he's gonna lose it now at SummerSlam because I'm hearing rumors that Randy is supposed to be the champion going into Fox because he's a notable name. Everyone knows who Randy Orton is because of the RKO. And yeah, I don't know. It's a great story. But now let me get into Kofi's video package. Kofi basically had a video package of him basically beating Randy Orton in Madison Square Garden and showing how he's just been fighting for years just to have this moment. And he's basically saying that he was ready before and he's ready now. And it's just a great video package. It shows him going back to his home country with all the children over there so happy. It's just a great shot, and every time I watched that WrestleMania match, the celebration at the end, that was when the crowd peaked. The crowd was going crazy when Kofi won. And the shot of Big E and Xavier and Kofi's kids in the ring all celebrating, it just gives me goosebumps just thinking of it. I actually I'm when I watch it, I shed a tear because it's really a great moment. If you know the meaning to this moment, it's really a great moment. We finally make it to our main event, the New Day versus Daniel Bryan and Rowan. Non-title match. It was a great match, I can't lie. The hot tag to Big E, the sequence to with Big E and Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan and Big E, when they wrestle, is a great match. But this match basically ended in a disqualification. Rowan gets the still steps and hits Xavier Woods with them, and they take the DQ loss. The New Day win. Rowan throws Biggie in the ring as they start beating Biggie and Woods. Rowan hits the Iron Claw on Biggie, and Bryan hits the running knee or the knee plus on Woods, basically. Then we see Roman Reigns backstage, and he's walking to the SmackDown locker room. He tells everyone to get out because, he's the locker room leader. He's the top guy. He tells everyone to leave except for Murphy. And he asks Murphy that he saw that Murphy was at the scene of the crime last SmackDown when the incident happened, when the scaffolding almost crushed Roman Reigns. He asks Murphy who did it or who do you see do it. And Murphy says he doesn't have any idea. So Roman stands up. He's not happy. Tells him he's going to give him one more chance to tell him who exactly did it. And Murphy stands up, cocky. This is what I like. They zoomed in on Murphy's face, and he was smiling with a cocky look. And Murphy says, even if he did know, he wouldn't tell him a damn thing. So Roman, uppercut, or he smacked him right in the face. He hits him, throws him all over the locker room, basically pins him against the wall, puts his elbow on his face, and asks him one more time who did it. And Murphy says, Rowan. And Roman is like, what? You mean Rowan with Bryan? And he's like, yeah, I didn't see Bryan, but I saw Rowan. So it's revealed real early that Rowan has basically tried to attack Roman Reigns. Now, I did not like this. I thought the sequence with Buddy Murphy was kind of dumb. If this was the case, this is how I would have booked it. I would have had Buddy Murphy say, I'm not going to tell you, and if you want to know, you're going to have to beat me in a match at SummerSlam. If they wanted to do that, I would be completely fine with it. Well, this is the thing. I don't want to see Buddy Murphy taking losses, but for a storyline, to make a name for himself, it would be good to see him on SummerSlam. But they didn't go that route. They just made Murphy say he's not going to tell him, and then Roman beat him up and look like a schmuck or whatever. So it's revealed that it's Daniel Bryan and Rowan. And actually, since I'm recording this later on, I've started recording this around 2 o'clock, right after I got out of work Wednesday. So I watched WWE's YouTube channel, and they put out Daniel Bryan and Rowan's response. And Daniel Bryan said Rowan had nothing to do with the attack. So I don't know if they're actually the attackers. I don't know if they're lying to cover it up. But I hope that we don't see any type of match with Roman and Daniel Bryan or Rowan at SummerSlam. I hope they hold off on it. Um, a match we can possibly see is Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe versus Daniel Bryan and Rowen, since Samoa Joe is basically babyface now because Roman apologized for Samoa Joe earlier in the night in his interview. So I think that should happen, but not at SummerSlam. SummerSlam is already a long card. I don't really want to see that now. They kind of spoiled what was going to happen. This was intriguing. They finished this in 2 weeks. They started the angle last SmackDown. They finished it this SmackDown. And they did the whole getting the car accident angle on Raw. So they finished this very fast. It wasn't really intriguing to me that they spoiled it already. But whatever, we're going to see what they're going to do. I'm not expecting much because, it's WWE. They always disappoint. But honestly, it was an average show. It wasn't that great. I'd say, I don't know. I feel like this was better than Raw. At least I wasn't sleepy for Raw, I know, sleepy for SmackDown. Raw was a sleep fest. 3 hours of just nonsense going on. So I give it to SmackDown. This week, they definitely take the crowns. Raw, it just put me to sleep. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the review. That's how SmackDown ended. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the likes. Please like, comment, subscribe. That's the most important thing. More subscribers, more likes I get, the more YouTube pushes my video out so people can see more. Follow me on Twitter. I have only one social media right now, Twitter. It's Logic is Key YT. Logic is Key YT. Make sure you add the YT because that stands for YouTube because someone already took my name. So whatever. Anyways, guys, this is the end of my SmackDown Live review. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys agree and can relate. And I'll talk to you guys later. I will be reviewing NXT on Wednesday. Today's Wednesday, so I will be reviewing NXT. I might review it tonight. I might have the video out tonight. Or if you don't see it tonight, it will definitely be out tomorrow night. But I will have predictions also for NXT TakeOver Toronto, which I'm very excited for. And SummerSlam, obviously. So with that being said, thank you guys for listening.